Hi, I'm Bob Batcher, the Executive Director for Prime Plus Senior Centers, and this is Prime Time with Bob. And I'm with a great friend who I've known for as long as you've been coming to Norfolk, Michael Desplaines. How you doing?
Good. How are you, Bob?
You have that job that I just envy. You can walk around beautiful gardens. You're totally relaxed, right? You got other people that will prune the plants. What do you do every day at the
So,
Botanical Garden?
a garden is a thing of beauty, but it's a job forever.
Yeah, I know that.
I have always said this is my dream job. I am so happy here. I will never leave. But keep in mind all the moving parts that make up our business. It's a full-time wedding venue. I've got a retail operation. I operate as a museum, and in fact, we're accredited by the American Alliance of Museums. Of the 600 plus botanical gardens in the country, only 3% have American Alliance of Museums accreditation. So which means we operate at the highest levels of museum excellence. So I'm running a museum. We have one of the largest holiday light shows in the country. So I'm a holiday venue. We're an educational institution, full-time adult ed, full-time youth ed. In fact, I have 2 full-time youth educators because we're also doing education offsite. So we're also running a little mini school. And in fact, not many, it's our second largest department by personnel is education.
Wow.
So there's a lot of stuff that we do. Communications, obviously, that's right up your alley. You have to communicate what you're doing. But all of those things are why I like it, because if I was just walking around looking at pretty flowers, I probably would go bored and would need to find a job.
Yeah, well, and then on top of it, yeah, a real job. And then on top of it, you're trying to do it all naturally now, all
Well,
green.
and that's the other thing, and it all supports our mission, which is to connect people to nature through the world of plants so that we can address the environmental crisis. We are the leaders, we are the generation that has to fix this. We cannot pass this on to our children. We must fix this now. So our work is very, very important.
And I love asking that question about, so I got to get rid of the weeds in the cracks of my sidewalk. How can I do it now? And you guys always have the answer.
There's always there's lots of, you can go online, there's lots of natural remedies. There's some commercial mixtures too. Scythe and Avenger are two herbicides that are just as strong as Roundup, but that are nature-based and much better for the planet. There's an there's an old-timers recipe vinegar. I think it's a gallon of vinegar, so just table vinegar, you'd buy at the grocery store, and a cup of Epsom salt, and about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of dish liquid. Mix all that up, and that's a great all-natural one. Now, I need to tell you officially, vinegar is not a labeled use for vinegar, so you can't use, it's not commercially approved as a weed killer, but I think for private homeowner use, a make it your own recipe you could use.
So in other words, I will forget what you just said in the last minute.
No. You can do it as long as you don't charge anybody to do it.
Oh, or tell them that Michael told me.
Yeah, or the Botanical Garden.
I'm glad we get that straight, because March 16th, Prime Plus closed, along with the rest of the world, because COVID had hit.
Yeah.
And then I saw, though, that the Botanical Garden was open. How did you pull that off?
So what a week that was. So I think it was March 9th. I was coming back from a spring vacation. The first week of March, I actually had to do a work trip to San Diego. The American Alliance of Museums asked me to be part of an accreditation team to visit the Japanese Friendship Garden in San Diego that was in Balboa Park. And then after that, we decided to extend the trip, if you're already going to be out west, and decided to do a little quick spring skiing trip. We went to Lake Tahoe. So we're in Lake Tahoe, and as the week is going on, you're seeing more and more news reports about COVID, and it was in Washington State, and flights shut down to Europe. It was happening, and the local grocery stores, they were running out of sanitizer and everything. We flew home on Friday. By Sunday, they had closed the ski resort, so it's a good thing we left anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was that Monday or Tuesday, the governor's order closing everything down. So the first thing we looked at is obviously guidance from the governor's order. So he kept state parks open. So because we're 175 acres, we're a pretty big campus. And let's face it, most of our activities are outside. I felt safer looking to that guidance that, well, if state parks and public beaches, if it's okay to walk around outside, maybe it will still be okay to walk around outside of the botanical garden. And my first phone call was to the city. You know, I wanted to make sure we were in line with what the city's hopes and expectations were. So I reached out to the city and I said, are you folks comfortable with us staying open? We think we can do this safely. We think we can manage this. We have a plan. Do you support us staying open? And they said, absolutely. They said, you know, this is a day-by-day thing and have a plan in place in case you can't stay open, but for now it's okay. And, you know, thank God I've always said the best staff in the business, and we quickly just figured out how could we do this safely. We have a great online ticketing system, so you could buy your ticket online, you could have it on your phone. I could just use a laser and scan your phone. Our membership cards have a barcode, so we could scan that. We made the decision to close all the buildings right away and just
Yeah,
have
I
the
know.
campus. Yeah.
Because the place was gorgeous when we went, but I couldn't go to the bathroom.
So that was funny too. So at first we thought we would I have 3 different outdoor restroom buildings that are just buildings for outdoor restrooms. We thought we could keep those open. The problem was very early on, you know, we were telling everyone, if you have any symptoms, stay home, you know, do not come to work. We doubled everyone's sick days. We told them they didn't need doctor's notes, and we were very liberal in our stay-at-home policies. And our entire facilities department, at one point or another, I think there's 26 of them. At one point, I only had 6 left that weren't either quarantining because they thought they might be in contact with someone, or had a slight fever, or if you remember early on in the crisis, everyone was really scared. We didn't know anything, you know, so we were all kind of just very scared. So, and we didn't want anyone coming to work who was afraid to come to work. So I had basically 6 staff members left to clean 3 outdoor restrooms that were open 7 days a week. It was untenable. Also, if you remember early on, you could not get face masks. You could not get plastic gloves. I couldn't get materials to keep these people safe. So that's when we made the decision, hey, we're going to have to shut the restrooms. And we'll bring in porta potties, and, you know, you'll have hand sanitizer, but, you know, use them at your own risk. And again, I looked to the state for guidance as well. The state parks made the same decision. So if you went to Fort Story, First Landing, they had closed their restrooms as well. So at least there was some precedent. Well, I'm happy to say that May 15th, they've reopened.
Oh,
so
cool.
Yes.
I think I was there on May. We did some filming out there, actually. We did it. I learned how to walk at the garden.
Oh, good.
Our Tai Chi instructor taught me how to walk.
Good.
I do it poorly, I found out. But I also learned my mom was right. Go before you go.
Yeah.
And you'll be okay. So I didn't use the portables.
And if you were Tai Chi walking, it was very slow.
It was backwards, but I pulled it off. Michael, let's talk. I mean, because so you've kind of created a new norm. The place is gorgeous. So in the next minute, how do you anticipate the new norm going forward?
So phase 2 will start Friday. I think it's June 12th is a Friday. That will be phase 2. So we'll reopen the buildings. Masks will be required to enter. Gift shop will reopen. We've reorganized the gift shop. We've taken out some tables. So there's lots of space. If somebody steps in, just like at the grocery store, you have room to move around and make sure you're not on top of each other. We're doing the tape on the floor, you know, wait here for the next cashier. Same with our member desks, that will reopen. The Hewitt Library and our education wing will reopen. And the governor's guidance says that as of mid-June, that June 10th, I think is phase 2, you can do private events, rentals, groups under 50 with social distancing. So we thought that was a logical phase 2 to start the new quote unquote normal. So that's what new normal will look like at the garden. And also non-essential staff will return to campus. So I've been telling staff, if you can work from home, mostly to protect everyone else, because you might be an unknown carrier and asymptomatic. I need horticulture there. I need facilities there. I need my visitor services team there. But if you're on a computer and you can do it from home, do it from home. So
Well, speaking of doing it from home, and I'll put this in the same category as the vinegar advice. How are you doing at home?
So, it's been kind of weird. I think weird is the word everyone would use. The dates every day kinds of flows into one. So the other day I asked what date it was. I said, "What's today's date?" And the answer was, "It's Tuesday, March 18th." And I really feel that, like, it's been March Merlet for about 3 months now. I'm lucky. I've got great gardens here I've been able to work on. I do go into the garden about once a week. Again, I'm staying home to keep everyone there safe because I could be an asymptomatic carrier. We don't know. But I miss people. I miss seeing people. I miss talking to people that's not over the phone or the computer. So the second week of June will be a happy week.
Well, my doctor is very happy with me because the way I keep up with the day is my pill box. So I've been really good at taking my pills.
Yeah.
Which is, some of our viewers might appreciate that. Michael, I want to thank you for being a friend and talking about the changes that we're all doing. And I think you just confirmed with me that the idea of doing what's normal but doing it differently is really the way to get through day by day now, isn't it?
Yeah. We can be safe. We can be well. We can plant a better world. These are all things we can still do. This too shall pass. And if you think about it, God, 3 months seems like a long time ago, but it also seems like this whole thing has gone by in a blink of an eye.
No.
And let's hope that the world on the other side of this is better and greener and more just for everyone. Wouldn't that be a wonderful thing to come out of this?
That would be awesome. I heard somebody today comment that they could tell when someone was smiling under their mask because their eyes smiled.
Yeah.
Let's
all smile more.
Michael, thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
The bathroom's open. That's awesome.
Yes. Wash your hands.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Take care.
Hey, keep in mind, stay safe and stay connected. Thanks a lot. See you later.
Thanks, Bob.